Good morning. This is the Grant Caldwell Report giving you the latest breaking news of the hour. Make sure you smash that like button, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a critical update. There has been a significant development in the ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie, and investigators are now signaling that the case may be entering a new phase. What was initially treated as a missing person investigation has begun to shift as authorities adjust their focus and release additional information about the timeline, search efforts, and unanswered questions surrounding her disappearance. Here is what makes this moment different. For days, officials emphasized urgency, scale, and coordination, ground searches, air support, and multiple agencies working simultaneously. Now, law enforcement statements suggest that the investigative posture is evolving. That does not mean conclusions have been reached, and it does not mean outcomes are predetermined, but it does indicate that investigators are reassessing what they know, what they don't, and where the case may be headed. At this hour, several facts are confirmed. Nancy Guthrie remains missing. Search operations have taken place across multiple locations. Authorities have not publicly identified any suspects, and no criminal charges have been announced. Family members continue to cooperate with investigators, and officials have urged the public to avoid speculation. What remains unclear is why the case is being reframed now. Investigators have not disclosed whether new evidence prompted the shift, whether previously collected information is being reevaluated, or whether the timeline itself is being reconsidered. That lack of detail has fueled confusion, and in some corners, unverified claims that go far beyond what has been confirmed. This report will not do that. Our focus is on separating verified facts from assumptions and understanding why investigators make changes in approach during complex cases like this. Missing person investigations often evolve as new information is processed, leads are exhausted, or evidence points in a different direction than originally expected. That evolution matters, not just for this case, but for how the public interprets official silence, limited disclosures, and procedural changes. In the next section, we will lay out only what is confirmed, based on law enforcement statements and reputable reporting. No theories, no conjecture, no internet speculation. Because in cases like this, precision matters. Here is what is confirmed regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, based on law enforcement statements and reporting from major national outlets. Authorities in Pima County, Arizona, are treating this matter as an active criminal investigation. Law enforcement has confirmed that the circumstances surrounding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance meet the threshold for criminal inquiry, which is why investigative resources and specialized units were deployed early in the case. What has not been confirmed publicly is who committed a crime, what specific charges may apply, or whether an arrest is imminent. Those distinctions matter. A case can be criminal without suspects being named or charges being filed, and that is the posture investigators are currently maintaining. Officials have confirmed that coordinated search and investigative operations were launched shortly after the report of her disappearance. Multiple agencies have been involved, and authorities have acknowledged the seriousness of the situation through their actions, even as public disclosures have remained limited. It is also confirmed that family members, including Savannah Guthrie, are cooperating fully with investigators. Law enforcement has stated that national attention has not altered investigative priorities, but it has required additional caution in public communication to preserve case integrity. Authorities have not publicly identified suspects, nor have they released detailed evidence timelines, citing the risk of compromising the investigation. That restraint is consistent with criminal cases in early or sensitive stages, particularly when investigators are evaluating multiple potential scenarios. Officials have also urged the public to avoid speculation and to rely on verified updates, emphasizing that unconfirmed information can interfere with active criminal proceedings. Tips, if any, are being routed through official law enforcement channels. To be precise, the verified facts are: this is an active criminal investigation. Nancy Guthrie remains missing. Multiple agencies are involved. No suspects have been publicly named. No charges have been announced yet. Public disclosures are intentionally limited. These facts establish the legal reality of the case, not assumptions, not conclusions, and not outcomes. The next challenge is understanding how claims and interpretations are forming around those facts and where they begin to diverge from what authorities have actually confirmed. As soon as authorities confirmed this is a criminal investigation, the public narrative began to accelerate, And with that acceleration came claims that move well beyond what law enforcement has actually said. Some online commentary has suggested that investigators already know who is responsible. Others have implied ransom demands, targeted motives, or specific scenarios, as if they were established facts. None of those claims have been publicly confirmed by authorities. Here is the reality. Law enforcement has classified the case as criminal, but they have not disclosed the nature of the suspected offense, the sequence of events, or whether the investigation is focused on a single theory. That silence is intentional. In criminal cases involving missing persons, premature disclosure can compromise evidence, alert potential suspects, or contaminate witness accounts. Another claim circulating is that the shift in investigative posture signals imminent arrests. That conclusion is not supported. Criminal classification reflects concern and legal threshold, not necessarily proximity to resolution. Many cases enter a criminal phase long before suspects are identified. There is also confusion around the evolution of search efforts. Some have interpreted changes in search patterns as evidence that investigators are scaling back. Law enforcement has not stated that. In complex cases, search strategies routinely change as leads are evaluated, evidence is analyzed, and timelines are reassessed. What is driving much of the speculation is the absence of detail. But absence of detail does not equal absence of progress. The confirmed facts remain narrow and precise. This is a criminal investigation. It is active, and authorities are limiting disclosures to protect its integrity. Anything beyond that is interpretation. It's also important to understand that high-profile cases attract narrative pressure. Public figures connected to a case, media attention, and emotional investment can create a false sense that answers must come quickly. Criminal investigations do not operate on public timelines. The danger here is assumption. When speculation hardens into belief, it distorts expectations and undermines trust when reality doesn't align with rumor. The responsible position is to stay anchored to what investigators confirm, not what fills the silence. Which brings us to the next question. Who is accountable for clarity, and how should the public measure progress in a criminal case where details are necessarily limited? When a case reaches the level of an active criminal investigation, accountability shifts in a very specific way. The priority is no longer public reassurance. It is evidence preservation, suspect development, and case integrity. That distinction is critical for understanding why officials are saying less, not more. In criminal investigations involving missing persons, investigators operate under legal and tactical constraints that do not apply in routine cases. Statements are limited to avoid alerting potential suspects, contaminating witness testimony, or locking investigators into a narrative before evidence supports it. Silence in this context is not neglect. It is procedure. Accountability, then, is not measured by press conferences. It is measured by process. Are agencies coordinating? Are leads being evaluated? Is evidence being protected? Are timelines being reassessed as new information comes in? Those questions matter far more than daily updates. Law enforcement has signaled seriousness through action rather than words. The early deployment of resources, multi-agency coordination, and classification of the case as criminal. Those are not symbolic steps. They indicate that investigators believe criminal statutes may apply, even if the exact nature of the offense remains undisclosed. There is also accountability and restraint. Naming suspects prematurely can destroy cases. Releasing partial information can mislead the public and give suspects advantages. Experienced investigators understand that solving a case often requires enduring public pressure while staying disciplined. For the public, the most reliable indicators of progress will not come from leaks or speculation. They will come from formal shifts, warrants executed, persons of interest identified, charges filed, or official confirmation of a narrowed investigative focus. Until those signals appear, patience is not passive. It is appropriate. This case demands seriousness, not speed. Which brings us to the final point, why this investigation matters beyond headlines, and what responsible attention looks like as it continues. As we close, it's important to return to the central reality of this case. Nancy Guthrie is still missing, and authorities are treating her disappearance as an active criminal investigation. That fact alone demands seriousness, patience, and restraint, not speculation, not rumor, and not premature conclusions. Criminal cases do not unfold in public view. They unfold through evidence, timelines, and methodical work that often looks quiet from the outside. Limited disclosure does not mean inactivity. In many cases, it means investigators are protecting the integrity of the process and the people involved. This case has drawn national attention, but the rules do not change because of visibility. Law enforcement will move when evidence allows it, not when public pressure demands it. That is how accountability is preserved, not avoided. For the public, responsible attention means staying anchored to verified information and understanding what progress actually looks like. Real developments will be marked by formal actions, warrants, arrests, charges, or official confirmations, not online claims or anonymous assertions. Anything short of that is noise. This story matters because it involves a missing person, a criminal investigation, and a family waiting for answers. It deserves accuracy and discipline, not speculation. This is the Grant Caldwell Report. We follow facts, we respect the process, and we update you when, and only when, information is confirmed. If you want continued updates as this case develops, like this video, subscribe, and turn notifications on. We'll stay on it.